Hello everyone, I am Dr. Chirag Patel. In last session, we had discussed about folic acid synthesis, a target of chemotherapeutic agent. Today, I am going to be discuss about peptidoglycan synthesis, a target of chemotherapeutic agent, which is the one of the most important component of the cell wall of bacteria. Let's first, what are the learning outcomes? After completion of this session, learners should be able to understand mechanism of cell wall synthesis inhibitor such as vancomycin, desitracin, cycloserine and beta-lactam antibiotic. Let's first start with the importance of cell wall. The cell wall of bacteria are essential for their normal growth and development. The peptidoglycan is the important component of this cell wall that provide rigid mechanical stability, which is because of its highly cross-linked lattice work structure. In gram-positive microorganism, the cell wall is 50 to 100 molecules thick, but it is only 1 or 2 molecules thick in gram-negative bacteria. This is the structure of gram-positive cell. So see here, this is the cell membrane which is covered by the cell wall, which is made up of peptidoglycan. And the second one is the gram-negative organism. In this case, the cell membrane surrounded by the peptidoglycan, which is 1 or 2 molecules thick. So this is the difference between gram-positive and gram-negative bacterial cell wall. The peptidoglycan cell wall is unique to bacteria. Why it is unique? Because no such substance synthesized by higher animals. Under the cytoplasmic membrane, bacteria concentrate dissolved nutrients through active transport. As a result, the bacterium cytoplasm is usually hypertonic to its surrounding environment, and the net flow of free water is into bacterium. If bacteria is without a strong wall, then the bacteria would burst, which is because of net flow of free water into bacteria. So the peptidoglycan prevent osmotic lysis. So we can say that peptidoglycan is the one of the essential component of the bacterial cell wall. So let's discuss the structure of peptidoglycan. The peptidoglycan layer in bacterial cell wall is crystal lattice structure formed from linear chain of 2 alternative amino sugar. The first one is the N-acetyl muramic acid and the second one is the N-acetyl glucosamine. The alternative sugar are connected by a beta 1,4 glycosidic bond. Each N-acetyl muramic acid is attached to a short 4 to 5 residue amino acid chain which containing L-alanine, D-glutamine, L-lysine and terminal 2D-alanine with a 5-glycine interbridge between the tetrapeptide. So this is the crystal lattice of peptidoglycan layer. Next, let's discuss biosynthesis of peptidoglycan. So the biosynthesis of peptidoglycan involves about 30 bacterial enzymes and it divides into the 3 stages. The first stage is the cytoplasmic stage. The second stage, the membrane associated stage. The third one is the the extra cytoplasmic stage. So let's start with the first stage. This is the cytoplasmic membrane. This is the cytoplasm and this is the outside of the cell. So the first stage is the cytoplasmic stage. The first stage occurs into the cytoplasm. Initially, the uridine diphosphate and acetylglucosamine is synthesized from fructose 6-phosphate. Then the uridine diphosphate and acetylmuramic acid is formed from UDP and acetylglucosamine in two-step process. This is followed by the assembly of pentapeptide on the UDP and acetylmuramic acid. And the component, the first one is the D-alanine, the second one is the D-glutamic acid, the third one is the L-lysine, and the last one is the 2-alanine are incorporated in successive steps, with each step being catalyzed by different enzymes. The D-alanine that is incorporated in the last step is synthesized by the action of two enzymes. The first enzyme is the alanine racemase, which catalyzes the conversion of L-alanine to D-alanine, while the second one is the D-alanyl alanine ligase, which catalyzes the formation of D-alanine dipeptide. So this is the stage 1. At the end of stage 1, UDP and acetylmuramic acid pentapeptide is formed. The next is the stage 2. The stage 2 is the membrane associated stage. In the second stage involves the formation of precursor lipid intermediate. This lipid intermediate transport the monomer unit from the cytoplasm to the outer side of the cytoplasm. So initially, in the second step, the uridine diphosphate and acetylmuramic acid pentapeptide is transferred to a membrane lipid C55 phosphate with release of uridine monophosphate. This C55 lipid carrier and an acetylmuramic acid pentapeptide complex is known as lipid 1. This step is followed by the addition of an acetylglucosamine to lipid 1 and result in formation of lipid 2. This step is followed by the addition of pentaglycine to lipid 2 and form the lipid intermediate. This lipid intermediate is then transferred to outer side of the cytoplasmic membrane by enzyme known as lipase. So this is the second stage of peptidoglycan synthesis, and the third and the last stage of peptidoglycan synthesis is the extra cytoplasmic stage. In the third stage, a mesh-like structure of peptidoglycan is produced. So initially, the formation of linear peptidoglycan chain, which is catalyzed by transglycosylase and release C55 lipid pyrophosphate. Then a membrane bound phosphatase enzyme hydrolyze a C55 lipid pyrophosphate to a starting C55 lipid phosphate. These re-enter the cytoplasm and continue the cycle. These linear peptidoglycan chain are then cross-linked by the transpeptidase and carboxypeptidase. First, the transpeptidase link the terminal glycine residue of pentaglycine bridge to fourth residue of pentapeptide of growing chain. Then the carboxypeptidase attack the terminal D-alanine group of pentapeptide moiety and releasing fifth residue, or we can say that D-alanine, which is required for acceptance of next monomer. If we focus the last two steps again, then the transpeptidase link terminal glycine residue of pentaglycine to the fourth residue of pentapeptide of growing chain. Then the carboxypeptidase attack the terminal D-alanine group of pentapeptide moiety and releasing fifth residue or D-alanine. Now this is known as the growing chain and ready to accept the next monomer. So by this way, the cross linking between monomer and growing chain by transpeptidase and carboxypeptidase and crystal lattice structure formed. See here. So by this way, peptidoglycan synthesis occurs, which is the one of the essential component of the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Next, we will focus onto the drug which inhibit the peptidoglycan synthesis. The first drug which inhibits the peptidoglycan synthesis is the cycloserine. Cycloserine is the antibiotic which is produced by Streptomyces gryphallus, which is used in combination with other drugs to treat tuberculosis. Cycloserine is an analog of amino acid D-alanine. Normally, as we already discussed, D-alanine racemase convert L-alanine to D-alanine, and D-alanyl alanine synthesize a dipeptide of D-alanine. Cycloserine interfere with an early step in bacterial cell wall synthesis in cytoplasm by competitive inhibition of two enzymes, D-alanine racemase and D-alanyl alanine synthetase, which incorporate D-alanine into a pentapeptide which is necessary for peptidoglycan formation and bacterial cell wall synthesis. This is the mechanism of cycloserine. The next drug is the dacitracine. Dacitracine is the mixture of cyclic peptide which is produced by organism Bacillus subtilis, which is first isolated in 1945. Dacitracine is indicated in topical formulation for acute and chronic localized skin infection. What is the mechanism? So dacitracine blocking dephosphorylation of C55 lipid pyrophosphate and interfere with regeneration of C55 lipid carrier, which is essential for next cycle. So it inhibits further peptidoglycan synthesis. So this is the mechanism of dacitracine. The next drug which inhibits the peptidoglycan synthesis is the vancomycin. So vancomycin is obtained from the Streptomyces orientalis. It is a glycopeptide which is toxic to kidney and inner cell. What is the mechanism? Vancomycin binding to D-alanine terminal of growing peptide chain during cell wall synthesis, resulting in inhibition of transpeptidase, which prevent further elongation and cross-linking of peptidoglycan matrix and inhibit cell wall synthesis. Vancomycin also inhibit the release of building block unit from carrier by inhibiting transglycosylase enzyme. The net result in inhibit peptidoglycan synthesis. So this is the mechanism of vancomycin. The last and most important are the beta-lactam antibiotics. Beta-lactam antibiotics are the antibiotics. They contain beta-lactam ring in their molecular structure. The example of beta-lactam antibiotics are penicillin, cephalosporin, monobactam, carbapenem and carbazepam. So what is the mechanism? They inhibit final transpeptidation by forming a covalent bond with the penicillin binding protein, which is the complex of transpeptidase and carboxypeptidase. Thus, it preventing formation of cross-link. In other words, beta-lactam inhibit transpeptidase and carboxypeptidase, which is combinedly known as penicillin binding protein, and preventing formation of cross-linking between the monomer of peptidoglycan. So, this is the mechanism of beta-lactam antibiotic. In summary, there are 4 drugs which inhibit cell wall synthesis. The first one is the cycloserine, which interfere with the early step in bacterial cell wall synthesis in cytoplasm by competitive inhibition of 2 enzymes, L-alanine racemase and D-alanyl alanine synthetase, which is necessary for peptidoglycan formation. Second one is the bacitracin, which blocking dephosphorylation of C55 lipid pyrophosphate and interfere with regeneration of C55 lipid carrier, which is essential for next cycle. Third one is the vancomycin, which inhibits cell wall synthesis by binding to D-alanine terminal of growing peptide chain and inhibit release of building block unit from the carrier by inhibiting transglycosylase enzyme. And the last, beta-lactam, which inhibit final transpeptidation by forming covalent bond with the penicillin binding protein, which have transpeptidase and carboxypeptidase activity, and thus preventing formation of cross-link. So this is the mechanism of these 4 antibiotics. These are the references which is used to prepare this video. Thank you. If you have any question, you can find me at patelchirag17787 @gmail.com. Thank you.